Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires shattered records everywhere it was talked about, and to this day I think Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires will go down in history for being one of the most revered Disney Channel franchises of all time. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support you have shown this YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, you're probably going to want to think about doing that, because there is something here on this YouTube channel for everybody. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jonathan Clarke, and I'm so honored to be the host of this show discussing everything Disney and Nickelodeon related, and Descendants and Zombies fans have been subscribing to this YouTube channel for forever because they know, undeniably, it is the official Descendants and Zombies podcast discussing everything Descendants and Zombies related for the fans of the franchise who have forever and always held a special place in their hearts. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel and you are one of the millions of fans of Descendants and Zombies, I would love to know who you are and I would love to meet you. So because it's such a huge honor for me to meet you, I can't meet you if you don't subscribe to this YouTube channel. So you're probably going to want to think about doing that this evening. Because on this night, on October 12th, 2007, we will witness the premiere of Wizards of Waverly Place, one of the most revered Disney Channel TV series of all time. With over 106 episodes produced over the course of 4 seasons, it will go on to see the skyrocket of the career and popularity of Selena Gomez. And we all know who Selena Gomez is. To this very day, she is still one of the most talked about celebrities of all time. Her relationship status, her career profiling is unbelievable, and it's because of the success she saw because of Wizards. And I really think because of the success that Wizards of Waverly Place was credited to, that's why Descendants of Zombies is in the position it's in right now to take over. It is the most highly documented and most talked about and most demanded series of all time, and it's because of the star power that exists behind it that is powering this franchise. It is a franchise that started as a whisper that became a global phenomenon. So when you think about Wizards of Waverly Place and think back on the success of Wizards, it is compared to Descendants and Zombies, because you think about the premiere of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, and how revered that was. Within hours of its premiere on Disney Channel, it went to #1 on Disney Plus and became a part of the Zombies collection, which people are still streaming, and there has never been an official number actually released on the hours of stream time that Zombies has seen. But with the addition of Zombies 4 now into the collection, I would say the hours of stream time are well past 250 million hours of stream time, and it has to do with the star power of Malachi Burton and Freya Skye, which I must say look very happy to be together on the red carpet premiere for the Wizards of Waverly Place reboot, because I think everybody has had a special place in their heart for the Disney Channel shows of the past that they drew inspiration from. I know Freya Skye was a huge fan of Wizards of Waverly Place growing up, and I know that a lot of people watching this show probably are too young to remember the premiere of Wizards and probably weren't even born when Wizards premiered, but I have this to say to each and every one of you. If you have not checked out Wizards, you're probably going to want to go back on Disney Plus and reintroduce yourself to how much this franchise actually meant to Disney, because it really set the tone for what franchises like Descendants of Zombies would go on to represent for many years to come. And if you weren't around when Wizards of Waverly Place was at the heights of its popularity, that's all right too. That's still cool, because you're some of the best fans in the world, because you know who you love and you know what you want. And I've never seen so many stars like Freya Skye and Malachi Burton draw so much inspiration from people, because people have never felt more inspired than they are because of the cast of Descendants of Zombies, especially after the success of the Worlds Collide tour, because thousands of people came out of the support of their favorite Descendants of Zombies stars, and I can see why, because they're so cool and they're so appreciative of every single moment that they're ever a part of, from the Q&As to the performances on stage to the duets. It was absolutely incredible, and I felt really enthralled, and I really felt captivated, which is something I have never felt for a very long time. But to say that I wasn't captivated by Descendants and Zombies would be a lie. It would be an understatement, because I really was. There were many moments that I was watching Descendants and Zombies, the movies and the Worlds Collide tour, that I was at a loss for breath and I was at a loss for words, because it really took my breath away to see how many of you were inspired by it and so honored to be a part of something special, because it was history that we were a part of. It really was, just as I was a part of history years ago when I saw the premiere of Wizards of Waverly Place on this very night. I had just moved to the Yukon, my dad had a new job position, and I was trying to make sense of my own life, and Wizards of Waverly Place gave me the opportunity to do just that, and inspired me many years later to create a YouTube channel that would go on to become one of the most popular Disney-related YouTube channels in the world for talking about Descendants and Zombies, because one of the most challenging things as a YouTube creator is finding a niche that will be supportive of you, that will never quit on you, And lo and behold, Descendants and Zombies provided me with the honor and the chance to do just that. You know, I have so many fond memories of being a fan of Disney, from the premiere of The Lion King in 1994, the premiere of Aladdin in 1992. I was there for all those premieres. And I remember being a huge fan of TV shows like Goof Troop and Aladdin and Bonkers and DuckTales. I was a really big fan of DuckTales and Mr. Scrooge. But I don't think I've ever been as supportive of anything Disney has done than I've been of Descendants and Zombies, because you guys gave me the honor to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies. And I've talked about a lot of Disney stars over the years, from Selena Gomez to Miley Cyrus to even Bridget Mendler, Lindsay Lohan, going back as far as 1999 and The Parent Trap. But I've never felt more honored to be in your guys' presence to talk about the promise that's associated with Descendants and Zombies, because this story is far from over. One thing you should never believe is buy into the critics' idea of this story being told and completed, because it's far from over. And there is always going to be an opportunity to have a new chapter written and presented for the fans of Descendants and Zombies. It's really case in point. And as long as you can get to case in point about Descendants and Zombies and believe that this story is far from over, then that's all you've really got to believe in, and just trust in your heart, because your heart really is your best friend. And I think throughout the course of history, and time being the most precious commodity, I think that's what Red and Chloe really learned in Descendants, was just how valuable time is. Because while we were lost in the memories that Wizards of Waverly Place and Hannah Montana created for us, being a part of their respective generations, I think that we also learned that time eventually runs out, because we thought that things like Wizards of Waverly Place was indeed going to last for forever. Off the merch sales, the song sales, the soundtracks, the movies, because Wizards of Waverly Place, of course, was the second most watched Disney Channel movie premiere of all time, second to High School Musical, 17.8 million viewership, to Wizards' 11.9 million viewership. So that really set a record. It smashed records, and it also set its own record that still stands to this very day. But I really do believe that Descendants and Zombies is on to set more records than ever before, because this really is going to be history that we are all going to be a part of. Because I can never remember a group of Disney Channel stars that are this strong and this fearless. Because years ago, we never saw Disney Channel stars being represented for being strong and fearless and not really caring what anybody thought of them, until we saw the Descendants and Zombies cast come along. Because they were a very different group of individuals who were far more appreciative of being in the moment and within the moment and being lost in it with each and every one of you than the stars of the past ever were. Because to me, it was almost like it was just like an opportunity was there for Miley Cyrus to seize. And she indeed did just that, while she was attending public school with Emily Osment at the same time, and under a lot of pressure and dealing with the circumstances of her own life. Dove Cameron was the same thing many years later, because she contemplated quitting more times than she ever openly admitted to, with an open heart and an open mind. I think that these stars are some of the strongest ever, and if there ever were opportunities that should be presented to them, that time is now. Because they are so strong, they are so fearless, and they really don't care what anybody thinks of them. And because people are drawing inspiration from these stars, they too feel the same way. And that, really makes me feel so honored to be a part of this show and be a part of this experience with each and every one of you. Reading the reviews that are being posted about Descendants and Zombies sometimes really gets me upset, because I think never enough justice can be shown or done for these franchises with how far they've come. Because 10 years ago, when these franchises premiered, God, it's really hard to believe it's been 10 years since Descendants and Zombies premiered and had such a profound impact on all of our hearts, but it really has had such a profound impact on all of our hearts. While I can't speak for any other journalist on YouTube who creates these videos, I know for certain it's had a profound impact on my heart, and if I'm going to die with any niche in the world right now, it's going to be the niche of Descendants and Zombies, for how incredibly supportive each and every one of you have been of these videos, and I hope you will continue to be for the foreseeable future, because it's really a hit or miss for me. I took a chance on Descendants and Zombies. I didn't recognize the popularity of it until girls showed up at my door every year on Halloween and were dressed up as their favorite Descendants characters and told me to go make a bunch of Descendants and Zombies videos and upload them to YouTube. And you guys have been subscribing to this YouTube channel ever since. It's been over a year since this YouTube channel premiered, and it's become one of the most revered Descendants and Zombies YouTube channels in the world. I don't deserve as many people that have subscribed to this YouTube channel, but I've got them. And as far as I'm concerned, I have the greatest fans in the world who have ever subscribed to a YouTube channel subscribe to this one. So, I think all my years being a fan of Wizards of Waverly Place and Hannah Montana have really paid off and really paid dividends, because I not only had the honor to talk about a franchise that meant so much to my heart, but I had the honor of meeting each and every one of you. That makes this all worth it. And I think that if more people approach their videos with the same appreciation that I have for each and every one of you, I think we would come a lot further than what we have, and perhaps the franchises themselves would have come a lot further than what they already have, because these franchises are really taking the world by storm, and they are really becoming, franchises that are going to go down in history for being some of the greatest of all time. If there ever was a franchise that had a chance of going down in history for being the greatest of all time, it would have to be Descendants and Zombies, because I don't think there is an argument that could ever be presented for Descendants and Zombies to go up against at this point in time, because there was nothing that really could ever compete with it. You can reboot Phineas and Ferb as many times as you want, but I think Phineas and Ferb is a TV series that has definitely long surpassed its time and its generation. I don't think that Phineas and Ferb's reboot belongs in this generation, because it was of a generation of its own, and because that generation has long surpassed us, I don't think there was ever an argument that could ever be presented that could go up against Descendants and Zombies' parallel success right now, because nothing else is being turned into a stage production like the Worlds Collide Tour previously was, and nothing will ever garner as much attention as the Worlds Collide Tour did this past summer, because people never felt more honored to be a part of something special. It was almost as if you were a part of history, and you felt as if you were a part of history, and that's what made this experience all worth it. And that's what made this the greatest summer of my life, having the honor to talk about your franchises that meant so much to your heart by the light of the moon. This is a beautiful location that I finally decided to settle in, because I've been around the world all of my lifetime. Virtually every part of the world I've had the chance of being a part of, and this is a beautiful place because the light of the moon allows me to put my thoughts together every single night about Descendants and Zombies. The locations here are absolutely stunning, which is why I would have loved for them to have shot Descendants and Zombies here, because we have so many locations on this island. We have haunted graveyards, we have ghost ship sightings, all kinds of stuff happen here. So I think that this would provide Descendants and Zombies with the perfect opportunity to shoot some action scenes and scenes affiliated with mystery and mermaids for zombies. I think, with how fun New Zealand was, I think this island would provide them with an even more fun, exuberant time to be a part of something special. And that's why I've always put it out there to want to be the producer and the writer of Descendants and Zombies, because I remember being a fan of all these franchises that came before Descendants and Zombies, but I've never been as big of a fan or supporter and came up with so much support as I have for Descendants and Zombies, because the cast is absolutely beautiful and they are so incredibly supportive of each other. I will never forget the moment when Malachi Burton threw his arm around Freya Skye on the Worlds Collide Tour stage, and he said simply, "She's going to be something special, and we are all going to be a part of whatever she's going to become." And I think that those words could have never been more true, and at that moment, just as fast as you could snap your fingers, I gained so much respect for Malachi Burton, because I believed he was in a class of his own. I had never seen a guy be a part of a Disney Channel TV series or movie or franchise that was so supportive of his co-star, and she too was just as supportive as him. So that's what made them go together so effectively and so perfectly. They fit perfectly together. Even in that thumbnail at the Wizards of Beyond Waverly Place premiere, they look so happy to be together. And that's what I love seeing your favorite Descendants and Zombie stars having, is fun. Because if they can't have fun, the purpose of them ever being a part of whatever they're a part of is completely defeated and shut down. I think that more people need to take more of a chance on these stars and give them more of an opportunity to shine, because they are two of the brightest stars right now on Disney Channel and Disney Plus. Just give them time, allow them to evolve, and allow them to grow, and watch what happens. Because it was said in the Lion King movie many years ago, I know this sounds really cliche, but I remember Mufasa explaining to Simba how the great kings were seen in the stars, and one day Simba will go on to become the king of Pride Rock. So because he went on to become the king of Pride Rock, eventually what's going to happen for Freya Skye is she's going to become the queen of her own destiny and her own world. And it's represented in these songs, Gold's Gone and Fake It, because these are some of the most energetic and most exuberant songs that I've ever heard a pop star that could be described as a Disney pop star of this generation ever perform. Because the perform ethic is there, the work ethic is always exemplified, forever and always exemplified, and I think that if there ever was a 5-star production, it would have had to have been the Worlds Collide Tour. And it's going to be a part of every tour that she's going to be a part of, and she's really going to bring to life. Like 2 of the Worlds Collide Tour has already been discussed, and it has a lot to do with the work ethic of Freya Skye. And I really do believe that a brighter future is in store for her than perhaps any member of any cast that we talk about of any Disney Channel franchise of this generation. Because the reality of this is, stars like Clarke and Freya Skye will never ever be seen again. They will never come through the doors of Disney ever again because of how much a revolving door of talent we have seen come and go from Disney. And I believe that I've seen the best of them come and go, because I've been a part of every generation that anyone could have ever had the honor of being a part of, and I've talked about every generation of Disney, and I've been a part of everything because of how YouTube has allowed me to reach a more global audience and have more of a reach because of these videos by following the trends. The reality of it is a lot of people really aren't listening to you, which is the YouTube algorithm. And I think the greatest honor and the greatest way to show appreciation for your audience is by listening to that algorithm and giving you guys what you want. And that doesn't mean attending the World Skye Tour and an hour after you see the show, uploading a video with criticism directed towards your favorite stars so they cry and you get reactions out of them. I've never wanted to do that. All I've ever wanted you to do was subscribe to this YouTube channel, not because of me, but because you were a fan of Descendants and Zombies, because that's really my greatest honor. The pride that I get and the passion I showcase for uploading these videos is second to none. And it's because of each and every one of you. You got me to this point. You were the ones who created this YouTube channel. We created this YouTube channel. And we showcased a passion unlike anybody else has ever done before about Descendants and Zombies. And it's given me my greatest honor. And because it's given me my greatest honor, it's an experience and a time in my life that I will never ever forget. I just want to say thank you so much on this Thanksgiving weekend for giving me the honor to spend my Thanksgiving weekend with each and every one of you, as I will every holiday on the calendar year, because this YouTube channel is 365. The way this YouTube channel works is we go right on through the calendar year and we don't have any off days. So because we don't have any off days, we're always uploading videos on this YouTube channel because I just want to have more of a reach. Because I know there are 600,000 fans on YouTube who watch these videos of Descendants and Zombies every single night. And my greatest honor is to create content for the fans of Descendants and Zombies. As long as I get the opportunity to do that, I think everything will be okay in my own life. Because the greatest honor of my life was not only getting the chance to talk about Descendants and Zombies, but to meet each and every one of you who are bigger fans of Descendants and Zombies than ever given credit for. And some of the smartest fans in the world, because you know what's up. You know everything there is to know about Descendants and Zombies, and perhaps even know more than I do about Descendants and Zombies. You probably have uncovered what's inside of the vortex ever before it was revealed, that it's going to be mermaids, witches, and sirens. Because I think this is a conversation that really doesn't have a formidable conclusion. It's a conversation that can keep going on and on and on for many years to come, even if it is 5 years before Zombies premieres. The thing is, it will give me 5 years to meet more fans of Descendants and Zombies, and it will give me an opportunity to upload more videos of Descendants and Zombies. But I really do believe that the greatest honor of my life happened because of Descendants and Zombies, because I discovered the passion that existed inside of each and every one of your hearts for these two franchises. And because I realized the passion that exists inside of each and every one of your hearts, I just wanted to do it justice. I never wanted to criticize Freya Skye, and I never wanted to criticize Clarke and Trell, because I feel as if too many people do that. And you want to know the reason why they do that? It's because they don't know the first thing about Descendants and Zombies. And as long as they forever and always never know anything about Descendants and Zombies, that's the only thing they're ever going to know how to do. And probably play video games on Twitch. And I don't ever want to go back to having to do that. So if you guys would do me the honor of allowing me to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies, I will quit my job at Five Nights at Freddy's, and I will upload videos about Descendants and Zombies for the rest of my life, because I never ever thought that Five Nights at Freddy's would be a real place, but it actually is, and I live 5 minutes away from that, and I live 5 minutes away from a noodle shop, and I don't want to have to drive a noodle truck for the rest of my life or work at Five Nights at Freddy's. I'd much rather be a full-time YouTube creator. Which, by the way, I don't get monetized with these videos. I've never been monetized, and I don't care about being monetized. What I care about is providing you guys with the content you deserve and the content I know you love. Because it's really irritating, I know, and really frustrating when you have to upload the same 5 videos about Descendants and Zombies every single night for the rest of your life. I've just wanted to be here for you guys because you were fans of Descendants and Zombies, because I was just like each and every one of you. I, too, was a fan of Descendants and Zombies, and this has been the greatest honor of my life to talk about Descendants and Zombies and everything related to Disney and Nickelodeon. As I just mentioned, being a fan of Wizards of Waverly Place, a TV series that will go on to produce over 106 episodes over the course of 4 seasons, and see the skyrocket in popularity of Selena Gomez. And they would even go on to have video games released for that franchise, too. So everything Disney could capitalize on over 20 years ago for Wizards in Hannah Montana, they did. And they're still doing the same thing and carrying on the tradition and the legacy of Disney Channel stars with Descendants and Zombies. But Even though they attach everything they can to the Descendants franchise, I really do believe the fans are the ones who are credited the most for its success, because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. And I know that is the reality we're faced with right now, because I'm up against 15 million critics every single time I have the chance of uploading a video to this YouTube channel. But guys, this really has been the greatest honor of my life, and I will never ever forget this honor that Descendants and Zombies presented to me, to be your voice of Descendants and Zombies, to be here for you guys, counting you down to the premieres of Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, Descendants 5, Book of Wonderland, which is a title I really do love, and I've never felt more honored to be a part of this experience, this journey that you've had me on. Guys, seriously, thank you so much. Having said that, guys, I love you all so much. We will talk more about Descendants and Zombies tomorrow morning, but before I leave you, I want to remind you, as I always do, to keep kindness in your heart, because kindness goes that much further even when you don't realize it. And that small amount of kindness we show to everybody every single day for the rest of our lives can significantly impact somebody, and don't you ever forget it. And don't you ever forget that you guys are the greatest fans in the world. You changed my life for the better, and this time we've shared together talking about Descendants and Zombies, and we spent together this past summer, is a time in my life that I will never ever forget. So we will do it all over again tomorrow morning between 8:35 and 9:05 a.m. with the first video being uploaded. Until then, we will talk more about Descendants and Zombies tomorrow morning, because tonight we are celebrating the premiere of Wizards of Waverly Place, which happened over 17 years ago tonight. A TV series that had over 106 episodes produced over the course of 4 seasons, a hit TV movie, a hit soundtrack. Selena Gomez would go on to record multiple studio albums and become one of the most successful celebrities in the entire world. Seriously, guys, thank you so much. And on this night also, as we count ourselves down to Halloween, we saw the premiere of Girl vs. Monster starring Olivia Holt, one of my favorite Disney Channel stars of all time, on the hit TV series I Didn't Do It. So I think the way they did it was they premiered the first episode, the pilot of Wizards of Waverly Place, that same night, and on that same night they also had the premiere of the hit Disney Channel movie Girl Meets Monster, which is a movie they had premiere around Halloween time. So I think that's how they did it. Wizards came first, and then following that, Girl vs. Monster happened. It was a fun time to be a fan of Disney, and a time I know I will never ever forget. Guys, seriously, thank you so much for all the love and support you've shown this YouTube channel. We will talk more about Descendants and Zombies tomorrow morning. Stay calm and zombie on, everyone, into the foreseeable future.